Okay. Today we're going to see again about storage integration, how to load data, and how to going to handle error data. Okay. So same thing. First, what we need to do, we need to create the S3 bucket. Type S3 in search bar. So okay. So here go to create bucket. So give the bucket name. Then scroll down, don't change anything, create bucket. So this is our bucket. Then create one folder. So give the folder, CSV files, scroll down, create folder. Okay. So now we open this folder, copy S3 URL, go to Snowflake account. Okay. So this is last time we have done. Okay. So same thing we're going to again and also going to do how to handle the error data, and we're going to see so what we can mention in copy command. This is normal thing, copy into table name from stage and file format. After that, in real time, what we going to use? Okay, what we going to mention? So I'm going to teach everything together. Okay, so I am selecting new worksheet or SQL file. Okay, this is snow site. Okay, the interface we need to call snow site. So in Snowflake, we have two interfaces, or we can call it web UI, two web UI. One is classic console, that is old one. So present we have snow site. Okay, so select database, raw database. Okay, so I am creating one schema, create schema, error data, handling, error data handling. Okay, so now I am pasting URL here. Okay, so these are comments hyphen hyphen. When we run anything in the Snowflake, it won't run this line. That's why we don't get any error. Okay, then again go to here, create one role. Type I am here. I am means identity access management. Identity access management. On this one, inside I am we have roles. So click on roles. So create one role. So select here AWS account. Scroll down. Next. In search type S3. Select check mark this one. Imagine S3 full access. Next. Role name. Result data. Handling. Okay, I'm giving the role name as data handling. Scroll down. Create role. So go to role. Okay. Data handling. Then you see ARN Amazon resource number. Go to and give comments. Okay, this one. Okay. So this one. I am okay. So inside we have role to create. After that, copy the ARN. Okay, I am anti-access management for okay. I am anti-access management ARN Amazon resource number. Then for Snowpipe we have SPS. Okay, simple cube service. Simple cube service. Okay. Yesterday we seen about Snowpipe, right? Simple cube service. Okay. So now we have a URL S3 bucket ARN role. This one is Amazon resource number. So with these two, we need to create the storage integration. So I'm copying this one. Okay. Go to paste. Okay. So this is syntax. Let's create our storage integration st to Snowflake. Okay. I'm giving integration name error data. Okay. Type equal external stage. What is the external stage? AWS. Okay. S3 bucket. Storage provider S3, where we are getting from S3 bucket. Okay. Enable true. Data loading enable equal to. So storage, okay, underscore. So remember this syntax. Storage underscore AWS underscore role air. It means so from the we are accessing the storage from AWS. So there we have a role. So inside we have ARN. Okay, we need to paste this new ARN. Copy this one to paste here. That is old one, right? Okay. So we have pasted ARN. Storage allowed locations. Okay. It means from which place it need to accept the data. It need to allow. So from the this S3 bucket, it need to allow data from this S3. What is the data inside S3 bucket? So it need to accept the data. So that's why storage underscore allow locations. So from this location we are getting the data. Okay. So remember ARN we need to give in the single quotations, but storage allow locations brackets inside single quotations is the URL. Okay. So this is the integration. So cursor when you run the any query in the Snowflake, you can run. You can click on this run button, or so you can put cursor anywhere. Anywhere it's going to suppose even if you put here also it will run this only. Okay, this only. Clicking on this one, or you can put any line. Okay, I'm putting here. Okay, we can run it, or you can use keyboard control enter. Okay, this one. So integration error data successfully created. Now we need to describe the integration. So describe integration. So integration need error data. Okay. So integration we have see here you can check. So storage it will role ARN. Okay, here this one. So already we given in the storage integration this ARN. This is we get from the role. But here you can see storage AWS user ARN. Storage AWS I am user ARN. Okay, I am user ARN. Okay, so you can say user ARN. Again storage AWS I am user ARN. Okay, user ARN this one. So we need to copy the user ARN. Why? So we have connection one side S3 to Snowflake. Now we need to connect with Snowflake to S3. So copy this ARN, go to here. So here you can see trust to need relationships. Okay, click on this one. So edit trust policy. So this delete this one. Okay, paste. Okay, now scroll down, update the policy. Okay. So in interview, you need to explain everything neatly. Okay. Again, okay. So next, go to again Snowflake. Okay. So now the connection is established between S3 and Snowflake. So again, just create stage. So I'm taking this one to create another stage. So URL again we need to copy this URL. paste. In a stage, what we need to mention? So simple, it will create stage. Okay, that normal in Snowflake we can create that. But we need to mention when we are correcting, when we are loading data state Snowflake, we need to mention in the when we are creating the stage URL, that from where we are loading the S3 bucket URL. Okay, then URL. So again, we need to mention the storage integration name. Okay, error data. So paste. So now run this. Okay. Now try to fetch. How to see data? Select from. So at rate of error stage. Okay. It will throw the error. SQL comes error. Error line 24 at position. Okay. Zero select with no columns. Zero select with no columns. So don't use star when we are fetching data from the stage. Use $1, $2, and $3, $4. Like that, no mention. So in real time, we have maybe in data 200 columns like that we have. Okay. So now we don't have the data. That's why it's showing like empty. So now go to S3 bucket. Add files. Okay. I'm uploading all files. Okay. Now upload. Okay. So now we can go to Snow. So we can see. Now run it. I loaded into the wrong place. Okay, we need to load into the folder because of in URL. So we copied from after opening the folder, right? Is the URL. That's all. Okay. Now load it. So now we can see the any data. Okay. ID name, salary, department ID. So fifth and sixth to seventh columns we don't have. So it's showing the null values. Suppose if you have any data, it will show the data. See. Again, ID name, salary. We have only three columns. Okay. Okay. So now what we need to, so we have ID name, salary, department ID. Okay. So we need to create the target table and file format. So first we will create Facebook, right? So ID int name varchar, then salary number, department ID means number. Okay, so table employee successfully created. Then so what we need to, this is CSV file format, right? So we need to create the file format. Okay, see how to create file format. So when we creating the file format, so we need to mention everything. So in real time, okay. Create file format CSV file. So this is okay. Then inside, so what we need to going to mention. So everything. So type equal to CSV. Then field option. Okay, field, okay, optional. Followed by double quotes. So when we have double quotes in the data, we're going to accept it, double quotes. Okay, double quotes. Field option is equal to. Then what we can mention? We need to mention the skip vendor. Go to one. First line is going to skip. Okay, it's going to be the vendor. And field delimiter. FIELD field delimiter equal to in single quotations comma. Then what we can mention, trim space too. Okay, trim space. If any unnecessary data in the data, we're going to trim that. It will remove that space and it will load the proper data. Okay, trim space equal to trim means it's going to trim that. It's going to remove the trim space. So trim space means suppose select, okay. So it's going to give the list. Okay. Now I have spaces, right? I have spaces. This is my complete. Suppose I'm finding the length of this one. See. So length is 9. Okay, length is 9. See, I have but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 letters. But it is also counting the this space and this space. Totally it given the 9. Suppose if I use trim off, copy this one and putting inside here. Okay. Okay, now we can see. So length for with before trimming 9, after trimming 7, removing the this space and this space. So first we are trimming, it is removing this space and this space. Then after we are finding the length. Okay, now it's showing the 7. Okay, it not going to occupy any space in the Snowflake. Okay, so that's why we going to use the trim space. We need to remember unnecessary spaces. That's why trim space equal true. So this is SQL concept. Okay, so like that we need to mention trim space also true. So normally create file format CSV file type CSV skip the field delimiter. This is the normal one. But when we are doing in real time, we need to mention field option included by double quotes. Sometimes we going to receive double quotes in data. This is also one of interview question. They will ask, so how you handle whenever you are receiving double quotes in the data? So field option is included by double quotes. We need to mention in the file format. Okay, so this one. And so again, we go with after tip space or error column. Okay, so error column count mismatch false. Going to if any error like mismatching column. Suppose in data we have three columns, so four columns. In table we have only three columns. Or in CSV file we have only three columns. We have four columns in the table. So we need to give okay. So count mismatch false. Okay, we are not accept the data. Okay, then compression. So it's going to automatically compress the data. So compression. So when we are loading large data, so compression is going to compress the data. This is the compression. Okay, COMPRESSI. Okay, next I will use the comma. Then again comma. So skip at the comma and okay, false. This one. Then this is need create file bar C selected type is field option. Okay, one column is match. One column is match. Okay, not taking this one. Okay, okay. L format CSV files actually create. So this is the CSV file part how to create in the real time. Okay. Then after use the copy command. Copy into reply. So next from stage. Copy the stage name. Okay. Copy table from stage. Okay. Then in file format name. Second place. It loaded data. It loaded every data. every file get loaded because of it's matching with data. Okay, so what I'm doing, create a request. Get data from the employee. శేఖర్ వాళ్ళు రావట్లేదేంటి ఇంకా?
ఆ, అన్న బయలుదేరారంట వస్తున్నారని చెప్పారన్న. కొంచెం లేట్ అయిందంట, ట్రాఫిక్ లో వస్తున్నారంట. ఓకేనన్నా.
ఓకే, so this data. So in this one file, we don't have the fourth column, but it's loaded. Okay. So what I'm doing, if try to load same file again, I'm running the copy command. It won't load again. Copy executed with the zero files process. So now what I'm doing here, false. New true. Okay. Again I created the CSV file. I'm trying to load again. Force control. Same data if you want to load, try to load. So 1 second. అలా చెప్పండి. Sorry. So we given number of columns in file 3 does not match the corresponding table 4. Okay. True. It means so we given error on column count mismatch. True. It means so whenever any mismatch is there, it won't load data. If we give false, so automatically it will accept the data in this screen. When I'm fetching data from this stage, so here we can see. So in this file, we don't have 4 columns, right? So we have only 3 columns. That's why it's not loading. I'm using true here. Suppose I'm using so false. Okay. I'm creating file format again. I'm trying to load again. So it will load the data. Okay. So now we have this. Okay. So this is the file. Okay. So now I'm using for equal to true. So it will load data. See, it will load data. And uh, in S3 bucket, so this is right. And inside we have CSV files. So no data, just deleted from the bucket. That is files. So once loaded, that file going to deleted from the entire the from the S3 bucket. Even we can try to check in the stage. So we don't have any data. Okay. So this is usually how we going to use. So file format of this thing. Okay, now, so this one not mentioned anything. Only there is one more thing in file format we can mention. Okay. So null values, okay. So null, if it is going to handle the null values, if any null values in the data. So see this one, okay. This is the syntax, okay. Slash slash. Okay. And they will ask how you handle if any null values in CSV, how it to going to handle. Okay, in file format. So we need to mention this one. So when you see NVL2, okay, collasis. So we'll see that in the concept SQL. NVL2 COL yes equals. Okay, that is a SQL concept. Okay, so then you can create file format like this also. Sorry for it not taking null if okay, equal to then slash slash okay okay. So it's later we can mention in the file format. Okay. So this is what we can mention. Type CSV, okay, and skip header, field delimiter, common thing. Okay, that must we need to put. After that, in error we have double quotes. Into they will ask, we going to put field option enclosed by double quotes. We need to mention the file format. So when we create the file format, we need to mention the field option enclosed by double quote. Okay, if any null values, okay, we need to mention null if. Now we need to use the null if. So we need to mention if any unnecessary spaces string. So to if you load any mismatch, you have three columns, you have four columns in the table. So any mismatch columns. So we need to put the false. Even error on a column called mismatch. It means so మనకు columns లో mismatch అయినా false ఇచ్చామంటే అది accept చేస్తుంది అనమాట. ఒకవేళ ట్రూ ఇస్తే error on column count mismatch true ఇస్తే అది లోడ్ చేయదు. ఓకే, this is compression auto data ni automatically compress cheyali. Okay, so we need to use error column count mismatch false compression auto like this. Okay, tree place any unnecessary spaces null values. Okay, double quotes in the data. So we need to mention this. Okay, so this is how to mention file format properly in the Snowflake when we are loading data. Force equal to it will load the again file in the same table. Okay, without using code, you can rename to the table, you can rename and you can load it, or if you don't rename to the table, so what we're going to do, so we need to use a force equal to. So when we why they will ask why it will not load again mean it going to check the copy history. So in copy history it will show already the file loaded, so that's why it won't load again. If you load again it's going to duplicate data. So, but if any need, if you want to load again, we need to use the force equal to. Okay. But you can create one more table and you can load it. But if you want to load the same table, or after loading, if you want to delete the data in S3 bucket, purge equal to. Okay. So these are we usually we mention in the topic comment. So not only this, we're going to mention pattern. Yeah. I'm going to track in the table. Again table like okay, now we don't have the data. So now go to again uh, this one upload files again. So now check the files in the stage. Do I have every data? Okay. So now what is my requirement is okay here. So we have these files, right? So requirement is I want to load only this CSV snowpipe data. I don't want to load this CSV to this one and this one, this one. I want to load only CSV snowpipe data, only single file. So when we have multiple files in the S3 bucket, if you want to load only single file, so what we going to mention in the copy command? How we going to mention that? Okay. See, I will show the. So we going to do the pattern. Okay. I'm going with this other command. Okay. So after this one, we need to mention pattern. Okay. So equal to here is mention single quotations. Okay. So use dot star. Okay. Dot star. So then after again. Okay. So we need to mention the file name. Okay. This is the file name. CSV snowpipe data.txt. So single quotation dot star CSV lowercase letters. Okay. We need to mention. Suppose if you put uppercase, it won't accept again. Snowpipe data. So again, what we need to mention? Snowpipe data. Again, that's it. Snowpipe data. Okay. Again, we need to mention. Okay. So dot again. Suppose dot star. So it loaded three files, right? I want to load only single file. Why it's loaded three files means so this is CSV snowpipe data, three files snowpipe data one. This also we have this, right? So it matching with this also. Even 1 2 is there, but it's matching this also. Same thing we have in CSV snowpipe data, CSV snowpipe data 2. So that's why it giving it loaded again this file also. Okay, it loaded three files. Okay,